Hi friends, I am Mrs. Anderson, first grade teacher at CPS. These are my first grade friends, and we are going to share a story with you. So we were talking today about what do you do when you just have a rough start to your morning. I had a bad morning this morning. Some of them had a bad morning this morning. Someone thought they brought their water bottle, but it was actually their tennis shoe. What else happened? Someone almost went in the ditch because it was icy outside, and their brother had to go to the bathroom, so they had to stop and go back in the car. Then when they got in the car, the gas was out, so they had to go to the gas station. Just sometimes it's like problem. Well, we have a story called Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And we're going to share that with you today because sometimes we just have a bad day, don't we? Yeah. But it helps to talk about it because we realize that, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one who has a bad day. Lots of kids and people and grown-ups have bad days. It happens. Here we go. Maybe you've read the book before. Maybe you've seen the movie, but it doesn't hurt to hear it again. So, I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I know how he feels. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. You think that's the end of it, or you think he's going to have more problems? More problems. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. Well, he didn't work very hard, did he? His paper's empty. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone and lands in Australia. Have you ever felt like that?
Yeah.
Look they're being buddies and they're not including him. That would make me feel like I'm having a terrible day. It just kind of keeps piling on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ugh. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert?
Paul.
It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. He didn't get a sweet treat in his lunch, and everybody else did. On the way downstairs, the elevator door... hold on a second. I knew I skipped a page because that didn't make sense. That's what it was, a bad day. Because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I'm moving to Australia. Look at him. I know how he feels. You ever felt like that, friends? No. Uh-oh, what happened? He stubbed his toe, I bet. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot. And while we were waiting for my mom to get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. Look at his brothers. I have brothers like that. While I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, oh no, Mom came back to the car and I got in trouble for being muddy and fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I said. Nobody even answered. He's frustrated, isn't he? I would be too. Oh, look at him. Looks like they're at the shoe store. Look at him. Oh, look at that face. You ever had a face like that? I had a face like that this morning, friends. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out." They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. He didn't get the shoes he wanted. He woke up with gum in his hair. He got his sweater in the sink. He didn't get a prize in his cereal box. He had to sit in the middle of the car during the ride to school. His teacher didn't like his picture. His teacher didn't like his singing. His teacher didn't like his counting. His friends weren't being nice to him. He didn't have a treat in his lunch. Then he got his foot caught in the elevator. He fell in mud. He got in trouble for punching. He's not getting the shoes he wants. Oh, he has a cavity in his tooth. Ooh, he is having a bad day. When we picked up my dad from his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. Why doesn't he want him to pick him up anymore?
Because he's making a big mess.
Yeah, he's making a big mess when he gets there. It's like, come on, don't even come pick me up. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Looks like his dad's having a bad day now too. Wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. There were lima beans for dinner. I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV. Oh, I hate kissing. Look at that. Ew. Oh, the day's almost over. Good. Oh, boy. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow that he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony and not me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Your teacher says that too, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Some days are like that.
Cat. I'll see the cat.
Guess what? Even in Australia.
Him.
Doesn't matter where you go, friends, and it doesn't matter how old you get. You're always going to have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day sometimes. It's part of life. But when we talk about it with our friends, we notice that it's normal, and other people have the same problems sometimes, and it helps to talk about it. Have a great day, friends. I hope that you enjoyed our story, and I hope that you pick up that book sometime and read it to a friend or read it to a sibling. Have a great rest of your day, and Say, see you later.
See you later.
Say, happy I love to read, Mom.
Happy I love to read.